Hello everyone, welcome to building the ultimate Matchbox car collection. My name's Tyrone and welcome to part 2 of Matchbox cars you probably don't have yet. This one's going to be a long-winded one, so grab a cuppa or a beer or something else you might fancy. This is going to get nerdy. I hope you're in the mood for nerdy. Let's start with something super easy, cars you probably don't have yet. Maybe you do. It should be you probably do. This is the MG of this year, 2023, 70 years celebrations for Matchbox. Do you have it? Did you see it on the pegs and decide you didn't want it with that paint job? Always a little bit nervous about this paint job because it's like a scratchy ticket, isn't it? That's, I think, the first one it came out in, with disturbingly dark tinted windows, almost so dark you believe that they didn't bother with an interior, but there is an interior, and there's a dark green one and a mustardy coloured one, all very 70s. So that doesn't rank as the one you definitely don't have, but who knows. Well, son of a... There goes a Pantera. Something I don't normally do, because what happened with this video is I got interrupted. Normally I do a short burst of videos and then I go and do something completely different. I got to retrieve that Pantera because it's sacrilege to have it on its roof on the floor. Okay, but what happened with this one, I got distracted, and in the meantime, a bunch of comments came in, so I thought I'd read a few. On my very old-fashioned phone, I don't care, I like it, it works. Don't update if it's only $1,000 out of your pocket and the damn thing does the same as the last one. I'll skip through them all. Of course, Brian from Brian Starcast of Thailand chips in. He almost always chips in. He's a great supporter of this channel. He says good to see different stuff. As I squint, Aussie One Kenobi, okay, wants the 3 to 8. That's the kind of thing behind this video. That's the point of this series, is it inspires you to chase the things you didn't know you didn't have. Zelda always chips in, great collection. Graham Richards always comes up with something interesting. Great series. The 1977 CJ6 Jeep with a Shell logo on the bonnet. Can't find any info on this. Anyone know? Graham has it. Do you? He's talking about this one here. That's the CJ6 Jeep. And BP got in cahoots with Matchbox many times over the years, and it seems they slapped a BP sticker on the bonnet. They did with the Pantera. I don't have it. In fact, as I put that down gently before it flies out of my hand, I saw this one with the BP sticker on it, and also, if my memory serves, a Ute with a BP sticker on it. But when I saw this one with the BP sticker, I thought, might have been on the roof actually, I thought it was a bit fraudulent, so I didn't buy it because it was a lot of money. And then I did some research, and lo and behold, it was legit. As we scoot through a couple of other variants, see the different font in the 17? How far do you go? I got that one by mistake and realised the difference and kept it. That's US version only. Scoot those off because they're not actually part of the show. I didn't think they were obscure enough to delight your senses. This could have made the show because you probably don't have a dark red one. I didn't for the first 51 years of my life, and now I do. Maybe 50 years of my life. I got it about a year ago. Yeah, but Graham has one with the BP sticker on it. Do you have one? And can you leave a comment down below to reassure him that his is legit? Going back to comments, Kalikanzaros, I hope that's how you pronounce it. He wishes there was a Coyote version of the Roadrunner. Maybe there is. Maybe if I find it, I'll do another video. That would be cool. Steve Brandon always chips in with something interesting. What's he got to say? Oh, yes. Yes, I have the Hot Wheels version of the 328. It's heavier, it's chunkier, it feels better built, but indeed, no opening doors or interior. The wheels on the Hot Wheels seem more robust than the Matchbox, but I prefer Matchbox, as you can tell. Thank you, Steve. Josh Adley. Yep, thank you. You don't see those much at all. Philip Ware. Golden Brown. Okay, so that was the first one Philip is saying, and then the blue one. Thank you. I wasn't sure. Oops, crikey. Oh, as well as being right-hand drive, they've got UK license plates, which is kind of funky. Brock 81. Oh, here we go. Brock 81 Adventures, or Adventurous, I'm not sure. I have the Holden with no chips. Yes, but check this out. You know when you think you're skiting, or you think you're showing off, and then you get brought back down to earth? I said to my missus, did you know this had a chip in it? And she goes, oh, that's a shame, you've got another one or two, haven't you? No. And then she fished them out for me. So, you know, you've got spares, and this one doesn't have a chip. I don't know if I'm bragging or I'm just being shamed into spending too much money on Matchbox cars, but thank you. What else? Diecast Looney always chips in. He's a great supporter of the channel too. He's got 4 or 5 of the ones I showed in the last video, which is almost predictable for Diecast Looney because he's got a vast collection. Check him out on YouTube. He's great. Ace Adman. The CV, is that cop vehicle, is from South Dakota. Yes. Now that you mention it, I can almost make those words out. Thank you. The Tiger Quoll. You never return from the rabbit. No, yeah, you're right. Hungarian ones. I only have one Hungarian one, and I know there are a million out there, and it's a bit like the Bulgarian ones. I'll show them soon. You never return from that rabbit hole. Mighty Lonesome says he's got a BMW police car. If you squeeze it, it makes a noise and lights up. They went all gimmicky like that one, didn't they? You know, it's not even really a Matchbox car, but it's a gimmick to draw in the crowd. Got to do what they got to do. TTRS, he's a long-time supporter of the channel, says he was on the fence about the Roadrunner. Now he's seen it again. He wants it. That's how it works, mate. Diecast Sky Crow says thank you for sharing. Oh, he's from Croatia. Cool. And Discovery Doolin, thanks for the guide. He's from the UK. Nice. So there are my comments. I was just about to tap the thingy. This is how I get my comments. And long story short about comments, I stopped responding to every single one of them when I hit about 3,000 subs. That was a little while ago. I'm coming up to 5,000 subs, and I appreciate every single one of them. But yeah, very stressful to try and keep up with all of the comments. I was spending 2 or 3 hours a day doing them and enjoying it, but everything else in my life was falling by the wayside, so it was becoming quite stressful. So I thought, well, paint them all with the same brush, and I won't generally respond to comments. I do read every single one of them, but yeah, time is an issue, isn't it? Okay, on with the show. Graham had a a BP sticker he wasn't sure about, and I have interiors I'm not sure about. So that's the regular, your regular Joe. It's the beautiful original Matchbox Corvette, completely out of whack with proportions, but you know, 1979 on the base, sort of a creamy ivory interior, and to die for suspension. But where did this one come from? I've never known. I've had this in the collection ever since I restarted collecting, so probably, well, I'd guess 7 years ago. Black interior? I don't know. Maybe they were just mucking around with colours in the factory. Maybe it was a specific market, who knows? Do you? No, I do not. The pink one, everyone's seen the pink. It's the Out There engine. I think I did a video called Out There Engines. Jeep Hot Rod, officially, green base, with that funky engine. But pink, they did pink in the 71, 72, 73, 74 and 75 catalogue. Then randomly in 1977, and I only know this because I was paying particular attention to it to do a catalogue review of 1977, and I thought I was close, and then I saw this, and I thought, you mongrels, why did you do that? Because normally you kind of, you know, switcheroo. If I've done the like 72 catalogue, this stands in for the 77 as well. No. So here we have dark red. They did dark red for that year and that year only, with the white base. I'm not sure if the base changed up at all, but here we have the white. And then 78, they ditched the whole thing. They kind of kept the concept, but with a different casting, and it went military. So, bit of a stretch. Do you have that one? Probably not. I hope not, because it's in my video. We're talking about Hungarian models earlier. This brings me, I should actually clean up that roof. That looks like pencil. And all that spare time I was talking about, I'll do that. Lincoln Continental, beautiful car. Is that 79 on the base? Fantastic. Again, out of whack with the real thing. And this is out of whack with the real collection. This is a Bulgarian one. I have a whole bunch of variants of this. They weren't cheap to get, but I'm glad I did it. I was broke for about a week or two or three, and recovered, but I still have the cars. So happy days. Speaking of BP, it's like a little story today, isn't it? The Mercedes AMG, I think that was the first one. It was either that or that one, either or. I never got them when they first came out, because I kind of left collecting them. I ogled them in catalogues, but never actually got them. And then with Jeroen at Chasing Diecast Cars help, I got this one, BP. He sent it to me mint card, and I ruthlessly tore it off the card on camera. I think it was in a show and tell video, I can't remember. Grey painted base, love this thing. BP. BP's had a big old history with, I'll just leave all these in there. Yep. Should have left the Panteras in as well, but we're going to run out of room. Going hickwitty-pickwitty here. Keep it interesting for me and you. The Chevelle? Yeah. 71 Chevy Chevelle. Most avid collectors will have this or a variant of it. Tri-spoke wheels, la-di-da-di-da. But do you have this one? That's the same, Tyrone. No, it's not. This is from the Lesney collection. Same car, different everything. More detail on the tyres. It's metal on metal. Substantially heavier, obviously. What else? That's about it. But it just feels nicer in the hand. It's a different interior because they've actually got a floor pan underneath the driver on the one on the left, and just a little more detail, but just a lot more weight. It's nice. So cars you probably don't have. Again, that might be a stretch for the video. In fact, I'll put those over there because it looks like they're same. A really long-winded one, but we've got the time, don't we? Yeah, we've got the time. Amex Pro Stocker came from the Javelin casting, didn't it? And those wheels have always looked a little bit small. And then the Dr Pepper, they're common as muck, but cars you probably don't have. I put good money on you not having this one. I really hope you don't, otherwise this video turns to dust. The story behind this one, if you've watched my channel for too long, you already know the story, but I'll tell it again. I bought it on eBay from somebody in the UK, and the story behind it is they had these two at a toy convention, or possibly a Matchbox convention, and the attendees got to vote which one was going to go into production, and the vote won for Dr Pepper. So this was binned. So perhaps this is just a prototype. Maybe there's only one. Maybe everybody at the convention got one. I have no idea. So I'm yet to find anyone who can enlighten me. So that's got cred, hasn't it, to be in the video. Probably the most expensive car in my collection. Usually I don't mind telling you how much it was, so I'll tell you that was I think 140 Australian on eBay. And I can't go without mentioning this. This isn't part of the video because this is thoroughly unfair. This is a Code 3, they like to call them. This is a custom from KC at 3D Metal Mania. I've shown this off a few times, but not recently, so you get to see it again. Where's the resemblance? You know? I'm very tempted to take that off the base and just sort of slide it in with the collection, and the very few that actually get to see my collection as a whole can stumble across and go, where the hell did you get that? Brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Stunning. So yeah, a lot of the collection is through help from friends. This one is of their ilk, the Lincoln Town Car in white. It's the run-of-the-mill. But do you have this one? This was on a 3-pack card, and I had help from David Johns of Twice Diecast. He helped me procure it. Now I need the one without the bubbling paint. There's always something, isn't there? It's like a chipped Holden. It's like, oh, I've got to make that right. But of course there's a million other things you want in your collection first, so this can wait. Still love having it. There's a maroon one in the collection too. That before this one was known to me, the maroon one was the must-have piece. But the gold posts change. Zipping back to the Pro Stocker, it all came from that, didn't it? The Javelin. And speaking of extraordinarily expensive ones, that came out in that. Love that blue. Usually with a horse float, wasn't it? And that's the US version of around the same time. But there's a red one of this out there, and last I saw it for sale it was about 500 Australian. So a little more expensive than my Minolta Javelin or Pro Stocker. So running out of room. That doesn't belong there. That we can go. Alright, you get the picture. A couple more to round out this show. Wouldn't be the same without a star car. This is the original, and in a couple of videos I've said, oh, this is the only one they ever brought out, wonder why, isn't it sad? It's the Mercury Sable Wagon. It wasn't the only one they brought out. Star car did a number on it for the Brady Bunch, even though I think in one of the comments at the time somebody said this was never the Brady Bunch's station wagon, or estate if you're in the UK. But here we have, are they both made in China? No, the white one is Macau, which is part of China now, and this one is China proper. I wonder if it was the same factory and they just reverted back to being part of China. Politics, eh? And last one for today is quite an interesting one. You might like it. The mod rod, complete with imperfections. Don't put a comment saying mine's perfect. Actually do. That's what it's all about, isn't it? That's nice, but have you seen mine? This is, I think, the very first Matchbox car I ever had, or the very first memory of a Matchbox car. Not this particular one. Mine is probably missing 3 wheels and is buried a foot underneath the garden of my childhood home. But have you seen this one, and do you have it? This is from the same era, obviously, but it's from a collection of 10 Matchbox did called Roman numerals. I've got 6 of them, all different. This one appears in a different guise. So does the Beetle, the Flying Bug, and others, the Hairy Hustler. I've got 6 of them. When I get the whole 10, I'll do a video on them. But here we have the mod rod, actually Silver Streak. They changed the name too. Look at that. But yeah, Roman numerals. Who knew? I think this was number 2, or II. So, Matchbox cars you probably don't have yet. Some are a bit of a stretch, I know, but it's always fun to compare, and it was a new experience reading out comments on the video. I always read them, almost never reply to them anymore. I just gave up, but very much enjoy your input, and fascinating to get an insight on your collection as I pan round a little bit of my collection. It's fun. What a way to spend the day. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.